Day Tour to Petra and Wadi Rum from Amman by Alice Phillips. Morning departure from Amman. This morning, I was picked up from my hotel in Amman just after breakfast, a moment that already buzzed with anticipation. The air was brisk and clear as I slid into the private AC vehicle, greeted by my friendly English-speaking driver. There's something exciting about setting out with the rising sun, knowing you're heading straight into the heart of Jordan's most legendary landscapes. We drove for about 2.5 hours, the cityscape slowly dissolving into ochre-colored hills and eventually into the raw silence of the desert. There was something grounding in the transition, like leaving noise behind and stepping into something ancient. Arrival in Petra, the rose-red city. When we arrived at Petra's visitor center, I could already feel that the day would be unforgettable. With my spot guide leading the way, we began the 700-meter walk to the entrance of the Sick, a narrow gorge that winds its way into the heart of this once lost city. The cliffs soared more than 80 meters above, their sandstone walls swirling with shades of red, pink, orange, and even the faintest hints of blue. I honestly had to remind myself to keep walking. I kept stopping just to soak it in. And then came the moment. The Sick opened up, and there it was. The Treasury, glowing in the morning light like something conjured from a dream. I was stunned, truly. The facade is so grand and intricate, yet somehow intimate. No photo, no video ever prepared me for the feeling of standing there in person. My guide shared stories about the Nabatean Arabs who carved this masterpiece in the 6th century BC, and I took a short 700-meter horse ride. Not something I usually do, but in Petra, it felt like the right way to connect with the setting. Drive to Wadi Rum. Leaving Petra behind felt like saying goodbye to a forgotten world. But the drive south, about an hour and a half, was a journey into yet another extraordinary landscape, Wadi Rum. Even from the car window, the place looked surreal. Towering cliffs, blood-red dunes, wide open silence. I could see why they call it the Valley of the Moon. There's a cinematic grandeur here that tugs at the imagination. No wonder they filmed Lawrence of Arabia in these parts. Jeep tour in Wadi Rum. Then came one of the most thrilling parts of the day, a 1.5-hour Jeep ride through Wadi Rum. Our driver was a local Bedouin, and his comfort in this vast terrain made me feel safe, even as we bounced through sand valleys and skimmed past giant rock formations. We stopped to explore canyons etched with ancient rock inscriptions, traces of cultures who passed through this desert thousands of years ago. I ran my fingers across the stone, feeling the grooves of history. There were moments when the only sound was the whisper of wind through the rocks, and I felt completely swallowed up by the magic of this desert. Returned to Amman. As the sun began its descent, casting a golden wash over Wadi Rum's dramatic ridges, we began the drive back to Amman. I felt tired, dusty, windblown, and utterly elated. Summary of the day. One perfect moment, turning a corner in the Sick and seeing Petra's treasury reveal itself. It took my breath away. I actually got goosebumps. That image is now burned into my soul.